Welcome to the Kingdom, guys. This is episode 4 of the Royal Vision podcast. I'm your host, Coach Matthew. We got a very special guest today. He is a 6'5" shooting guard out of Falling Waters, West Virginia. He made second team All-EPAC last year as a junior. He's been playing varsity basketball at Spring Mills for the last 3 years, and he holds his school's record with 6 feet 5 inches in high jump. So without further ado, let me introduce you guys, Loakkhae Uth-Smith.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Yep, of course. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
How you feeling? Good. So, let's break it down. So, you're a basketball player. You run track, but basketball is your main sport.
Yes, sir.
What kind of drew you to basketball?
I've always been a soccer kid all my life, but my brother, just watching my 2 older brothers grow up play basketball, it's just like my eye was always stuck on it. It just looked so enjoyable to watch. And even when I was younger, just to pick up a ball for a little bit. And then around high school, I just tried out for the freshman team, and then I made JV. And then there were days where I just feel like I couldn't go without basketball. So it really just drew me to basketball and just like to the love I have for basketball today.
So, when did you start playing basketball?
Freshman year, really, but I was like in rec league throughout middle school, but I got cut middle school year. All throughout my middle school.
All throughout middle school?
Yeah, so like freshman year was like my first time playing organized basketball.
That's nuts, because I've really only had a chance to watch you over the last year and a half, but knowing that you got cut in middle school and now you're probably one of the best players in the state, that's a comeback story right there in itself. And you said you played soccer?
Yes, sir.
So you started playing that 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through that. What was it about soccer?
My dad was had a love for soccer, so that's my role model, was like my dad. So like just do what my dad does, just follow his footsteps. And then I was really good at soccer. Then like I said though, like as my older brothers playing, I just got older and I just slowly started to grow, and my athleticism slowly started to come to me. I just felt like basketball was like where it was at, and I felt like I was picking up basketball way faster than I was like continuing to get better at soccer.
So did you play soccer in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're what, freshman,
sophomore year.
Freshman, sophomore year,
Yes,
and then
sir.
your junior year. Okay. So you have 2 older brothers. Are you the tallest out of all your brothers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I know like your dad, he's what, like maybe
5'9".
Okay, so
yeah.
you just got like because your mom's taller than your dad.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So you just got that extra gene that got you the 6'5".
Of course, yeah.
That's cool. So how do you feel? What were some of the defining moments early in your career? Because you've only been playing basketball for 7 years.
Yeah.
That really shaped your mindset to be able to be where you're at right now.
I just know that you got to work no matter what. So even when I see people that they think they're better than me, I'll have a mindset that I'm better than you no matter what, no matter who it is. So every time I step on the court, I compete to the best I can, even if they're ranked higher than me, they got more offers than me, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just that I know that I want it more than them at the end of the day.
True. So starting off in middle school, so you were talking about how you got cut every single year in middle school.
Year,
Most kids, they quit.
Yeah.
What kind of kept you just going?
My dad always tells me all the time, to this day, even after big games, after the regional game, he was like, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
I love that. You got to work no matter who you are. So even with my talent I have still, I still got to continue to put the work in. So that's really what kind of set me apart from other people, I would say.
Gotcha. And now, so like with middle school, they normally do cuts 2 days. Walk me through, if you remember, I'm sure you do, the cuts. Did you get cut the first day and then the next year make it through to the second cut? Or
I think it was Friday. We came in, the first practice, first tryout, and it felt fine. I felt like I did good. I was telling my mom, went home, was telling her I was excited. I felt like I was going to make it. And then Saturday, like early in the morning, went back. Still thought I did good. Brought me in the locker room and then gave me the slip, walked out the door, opened up the slip, and it just said I didn't make it. And it was like he's wishing me luck and whatnot. So
yeah,
it hurt, but I definitely took that like wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
and I'm really glad that like I didn't make that team, because I don't think I'd be where I am today if I made that team.
For sure. Like that's adversity at its finest. You talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got cut from his varsity basketball team, and now he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest player in basketball history. So, I mean, that's definitely a Michael Jordan moment. And so how do you feel like your upbringing and your environment influenced the way you approach competition?
Meaning, like, what around me?
Yeah, so like your family, your brothers, your mentors, your coaches.
I think mainly my family. Definitely a lot of AU coaches and rec coaches that I've had a close bond with. Even now, I see them at the high school games. They're like, "You're doing so good. Keep up the good work." But definitely my family, like, they know what it takes to be at the next step. They know what it takes to, like, be, like, good at your sport. And my oldest brother went to Richmond in Virginia.
Really?
Yeah, running back. So he knows especially what it takes to be, like, a star where at the high level. So I really look up to him in big ways. And my middle brother, he was just shiftiest kid. Like, I think one of the shiftiest kids I still seen to this day. And it was just, like, inspirational knowing that how much of an athlete he is and, like, how athletic my family is.
Yeah.
So I just aspire to be like every single one of them in their different ways.
So where did your I guess your middle brother or second oldest brother, where did he go to? Did he play college sports?
No. But
okay.
Yeah, he stopped after high school, but after, like, he could have went somewhere if he really wanted to.
Okay, and I guess he went to Spring Mills too.
He went to Millbrook.
Millbrook.
And then came to Spring Mills for his last year. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder how much older your brothers are than me. Because I'm 20. I graduated in 2020.
We're all 3 years apart. So my oldest brother is 3 years apart from my middle brother, and I'm 3 years apart from my middle brother.
So your oldest brother would probably have graduated in like 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. I probably know him then. That's nuts. That's great. I would have never even thought that. So you said each of your family members, those are, like, they're pretty much all athletes. You said your dad played soccer, your brother went to Richmond.
My mom was multi-sport athlete in high school, soccer, basketball. She tried it all, yeah.
And then, so did your dad, did he play college sports?
No.
He just played soccer and...
Just soccer.
That's cool.
But my dad also, I don't know if anybody else knows, but I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
So my dad came from Jamaica, like, during high school. But,
all right.
Like, this whole, like, area to him was new, so...
I got you. That's funny you say that, because that's where my dad's from. He's not from Jamaica. He's from Antigua, Virgin Islands, but he's from the Caribbean.
That's like Caribbean, yeah.
That's cool. That's neat, man. I would have never guessed you were... Now that I, like, looking back, I see your dad, like I can see the Caribbean roots. That's cool. That's nuts. So what do you feel like some of the challenges athletes commonly face in early stages of the career? I feel like you have...
I would say it's a lot of discouragement. Like, I feel like it's a lot of around you. Oh, this kid's the same age as me, but he has thousands of likes on Instagram, all this fame and clout, but it's like you can't really worry about anybody else. You can't compare yourself to anybody. You just got to work on yourself. And you know yourself better than anybody else, so you know your weaknesses. So that's what you just need to improve on every day.
Yeah. And do you feel... So were there moments, especially early, starting out, where you just felt like giving up? Were there... Because there's a lot of kids, like I was talking about earlier, that would just quit.
I don't think I would say giving up, but it's like you said, like earlier, just discouragement. It's like, how much better can I really get? I'm getting better, but so are they. Like, can I keep up with them? But I wouldn't say I thought about really quitting. It's just like, how much better can I get when they're increasing to get better too?
And so, like, in those 3 years when you're getting cut, what were you doing as far as practice goes to eventually make the team your freshman year?
To be honest, really, there's nothing special. Like, I was really just trying to go outside and just have a basketball in my hand as much as possible, because I feel like even though I'm not working on anything specific, just to have a ball in your hand is going to help you so much more than anything else.
Yeah. And I just think about, I find it nuts to learn that, I know I keep reiterating, but it just blows my mind, because I just see the player that you are today, and it's just, he got cut in high school, but truly, that's what made you who you are today.
Of course, yeah.
So I guess what is something that's probably a moment you're grateful for.
Very
right?
grateful.
So could you walk me through that, like just the feeling it puts you through?
Just after you got cut, like, there's not much you can do, but just like I said, take it with a grain of salt and then go on with your day. But definitely after I got cut, I definitely went outside and touched the basketball that day. But it's like, now in life, every time I step on the court, like, I think about, you got cut. Like, you're never going to get cut again.
Yeah.
I'm never going to give anybody a reason to put doubt on me again.
And walk me through, like, your pregame ritual, like when you first step onto the court.
When I first step onto the court, I try to give everybody daps on my team. If other team comes to me, I'll give them daps, show respect. But I always get down and pray, because I feel like without God, nothing's possible. So
yeah,
I pray that everybody stays healthy. I pray for both teams, actually, that we have a good game, injuries, and this is a real good game that the fans can enjoy.
For sure. And so how do you feel like some of your personal experiences outside of sports have shaped the way that you compete?
Can you ask that one more time?
How do you feel like personal experiences outside of sports have kind of shaped your mindset and the way you compete?
I think that I feel I have a very open mindset. Mm-hmm. So even when I hear like an English teacher telling me something, I tend to shape that into a sports mindset as well.
Okay.
Just because I feel like everything is useful in some sort of way.
Yeah.
So I try to reiterate what she said or he said in a sports mindset and be like, this is how I can use this in a sports mindset, that I can think about it and be like, I need to do this.
So you do a lot of reflecting.
Yes.
Pretty much. You kind of have a growth mindset where like you don't just take it at the surface. You dig deeper. How can I get this to work, or why does this work the way that it does?
Yes, sir. I try to think about things at all levels.
I gotcha. And do you feel like there's any lessons you learned early on that shape the way that you play sports or just go about life in general?
Athletically or like in life?
It can be anything.
I think it's more a self-lesson that I've taught myself, like a mental note. It's just people can doubt you, but you can't stay. Like, you're not them. You know yourself. So you got to believe in yourself. Don't let anybody else believe in you.
And what do you feel like you've learned about yourself over the last 7 years of playing basketball?
Hate to lose. That's why you just got to go out there with that killer mindset every game and just try to do the best of your abilities and just work.
Is there like a loss specifically that's ingrained in your mind that you think about a lot?
Morgantown State Championship last year.
Okay, walk me through that feeling, because that's your first year as a starter.
Yeah.
First time in the championship.
First year as a starter, great season. We went 25-2 that season prior to that. 25-1 prior to that loss in the state championship game. And it was a great game. Close game, low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing good. Probably the best defense our team played. And just to see that inbound just go over our head and then for him to catch that ball and shoot it at the buzzer for the game, that's crazy because that's not something like you don't think that's going to happen to you. It's a possibility, but you never going to be like, oh, we're going to lose to a buzzer beater right here. So for that to happen, it hurt. But it's like right after that, it is what it is. That's sports. Upsets happen all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch college basketball.
Yeah.
Auburn just lost to Texas A&M a few weeks ago. So
I heard about that.
Like you gotta do what you can do. So what happened? So you just gotta get back in the lab right after that.
Yeah. So like, how did you use that as fuel for this next season? Because you guys are, granted, you lost to Morgantown again, and like one of those kind of, it was a game that it wasn't 100%. You guys weren't 100% there. But how do you feel like that fueled you for this season?
Just to know that people still think we're underdogs just because we didn't win the state championship, when I think our whole entire team knows that we are the real number one and we're really on top. So I think it really just fueled me, especially me, but I think the team, like we still have stuff to prove. Yeah.
Because one thing I noticed being around Spring Mills is like when you walk into that school, it's almost like you can feel the success that's going on. You guys have a number one sticking out the window of the front of the school. Exactly, like it's almost like Spring Mills is like bred for success. And you guys started off as a bit of, you guys have always been like, oh, you're the ugly bird, the dirty bird, there's nothing good at Spring Mills. Like, walk me through the feeling of being a part of Spring Mills despite you guys always having been like not considered not good or just nothing.
I definitely wasn't on varsity my freshman year for sure, but definitely as a sophomore, like just to even sit the bench, but like still see that we were winning. Even if we were winning games, we were winning games by 10, and to now be winning games by 40 is crazy. And it's just like that. I think that is crazy to see like how much we developed and how Caleb and Max had developed, and even I've developed, and Zay coming up, Akwesi coming up, and everybody down to the bench has developed so slowly to become who we are today. That's just amazing to me.
Because you guys have a brotherhood. Kind of explain your brotherhood to me, because
I feel like we do everything together. We go, coach takes us to college games together, even outside of school, like nothing team organized. A lot of us are still together doing something. Even if coach isn't making us go to a basketball game, we're still going to the high school basketball games watching. Like even when coach didn't require it for us, we all went to the middle school playoff game. And I think that like just shows how close we are.
Yeah, is there anybody that you're on that you're closer to, or is it really just you guys are just like, I can get along with Max as well as I can get along with Zay?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely that. Like, it goes to a good show for the whole team. I could talk to anybody about anything if I really needed to, because that's how close and compact we are.
So you have one of those vibes where, like, you guys are looked at as underdogs, even though you're really number one together. So how do you feel like that made you guys closer?
I think it made us closer because, just to go back a little bit, like I said, like we've all seen how much we've grown. Mm-hmm. So to know the work we put in, and to still see some people like say down on our name and just discredit the work we put in and our names, it's not okay. We don't like to see that. So we go to practice every day and like we work our tail off to be number one, so we can have that one up in the window.
Yeah, and because you guys have gotten, like you said, you guys have pretty much done everything. I mean, you went to NC Live last summer. You went to VA Live, DC Live, right? Or I think you got invited, but I don't think you guys got to go. But you played in Capital Hoop Summer League, so kind of
like the Border League too.
And the Border League. So walk through that feeling, that experience.
Those experiences are great experiences because not like just any teams down in West Virginia, but like those NC teams, VA teams, DC teams, they're like down to the bench. They're so athletic and so agile. They're so like quick. And it's like you don't see too much of that down here. You have real good players down here like Keyshawn, Jamari, DJ, Sai, Chris. You have so many good players down here. Xavier Kirk. They're so good. But it's like down there, you have team full of those kids. And it really helps the whole team develop. Like we took some losses down there. And they were hard losses, but it was like they were good losses because we learned.
But you guys only lost one game, right?
Yeah, we lost to North Meck. Isaiah Evans, they go to Duke.
Yes.
His school.
Okay. Because I remember going down to NC Live with you guys. I think that was the only game that you lost. Because you guys dominated. You guys even played a bad game at VA Live, and you still won.
Yeah.
But what's been that experience playing against like 5-star, 4-star recruits?
I love that. I really wish there was more opportunities to do that. Like I said, I think that grows. That makes everybody grow stronger, and it helps you get more physical. It's so much more exposure too that I feel like West Virginia doesn't have, which is sad because there's a lot of athletes like I just named prior that should really be getting more opportunities. But it definitely helps everybody a lot to have to play against quicker defenders. Yeah, quicker defenders, better players offensively that can shoot, drive, and those kids down there just they're bigger overall, so it just helps everybody just develop their game.
How do you feel like it's helped you? Do you feel like it's put a spotlight on you? Do you feel like you've gotten more looks, more opportunities because of it?
Slightly, yeah. I do think there's been like a couple of games where we've played, there's kids at 3 stars, 4 stars, and they're like actually good, but I had a good game that game too. Just because they're already committed or they have an offer doesn't mean that their coaches aren't still looking at that game. I think it's definitely shown a little exposure.
For sure. So, how do you feel like athletes develop such a strong mental game, and why do you feel like a strong mental game is so important?
I feel like it's real hard for athletes to develop a strong mental game because I feel like you get mental therapy, but you can only talk to yourself in your head, really. You can talk to me like physically, but you can't. You don't know what I'm thinking. Yeah. So I think that's really like a self thing, and it's just like I said, a mindset thing, just to be strong after every, like, even a miss, like, you got to get back, like, short-term memory, like, defensive blow-by, you just got to get it back, and you can't let one play affect you, and I think that's what I've worked on a lot through my career.
So how do you feel like, or I guess, what do you normally tell yourself, or do you feel like an athlete would tell themselves to build up their mental game, to build up their strong game?
I would just say even after every mistake, like especially shooting mistakes or like offensive mistakes, you gotta say that was a good shot and just be like, you're gonna get it next time. My old AU coach used to tell me, like, be shocked you missed. Don't be like, damn, I missed. You gotta be like, no way I missed. And I think that helps a lot. That should go in. Every shot you take, you think should go in.
It's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I want to adopt that, not for like sports because I don't play anymore, but just things in life in general, because I feel like you can apply that to life, right? Yeah, how do you feel like you would apply that to life?
Let's see. Wait, what I said. Oh, snap.
It's all right. We can just cut it out and come back. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I like that. Just be shocked you missed. Yeah. It's almost, bro, like, I'm pretty good. I can't believe I missed that. Whatever, I'm going to make the next one. Yeah. I got you. I'm gonna adopt that. So, you've gone through a lot of losses, a lot of setbacks. How do you feel like athletes build resilience just going through those?
Without losses, I don't think you can really grow because you can't. Yeah, you win, but then you're just gonna have this mindset that winning. But if you lose, you have to think, why did we lose? What happened here for us to lose, or what did I do that affect us to lose? So you definitely have a lot more to reflect on if you lose than if you win.
True.
Because if you win, you could have 20 points, 30 mistakes, but you still won. So you're not going to think about the mistakes you made.
Yeah.
But as if you won, had 10 points and the same amount of mistakes, you're going to be like, I didn't play that good offensively, but I also had more mistakes. What can I do here to improve?
Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. And so for these last 2 years, you guys haven't lost a lot.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel like you've been able to really build up your game and work on your game despite not having any losses, or very few?
I think I go back on what I said, like, we just know how bad we really want it and how much doubters we still have at the end of the day. So even though we're not losing games, that's our fuel. Like Coach Lane tells us all the time, don't take any team lightly. Like even this Jefferson game, like we might have been about 30 the game before, but you can't take anyone lightly because he says basketball is a game of runs. So one big run and then the game could be over.
Yeah, that's true. Because just playing in the EPAC, you guys played Jefferson for a chance to go to the state championship. And while you did win by 25, 30 points, there was a point where they were starting to catch back up a little bit.
Yeah, and they were on a run, yeah.
But how do you feel, what role does self-talk have in the influence of being able to play and perform at a high level?
I'll be telling some of the JV kids on our team, especially when it comes to shooting, like it's really a confidence thing. If you don't think you're going to make it, you're not going to make it. So I feel like if you just, like I said, talk to yourself, like I said earlier, no way I missed that shot. Like self-talk is really important. Confidence is really important. But I feel like you have to know the difference between confidence and like arrogance.
True. I feel like confidence is one of those things where sometimes confidence gets confused with arrogance.
Yeah, or cockiness.
But there's a difference between being confident and being cocky. Confidence is, hey, you're my equal, but I know that I'm good. Arrogance is, I'm better than you, you're nothing compared to me. It's about...
And I feel like sometimes it's like when you're cocky or like arrogant, like you try to belittle people. But when you're confident, you can be confident in your own skills and still have confidence in somebody else or uplift anybody else.
True. And how do you feel like you do that the best? You're talking about the JV kids. How do you feel like you maintain that balance between confidence and cockiness?
Just try to let them know, because basketball is basketball. You're gonna have little arguments with your teammates. Oh, that's a bad shot. And even if it was a bad shot, I don't tell them it's a bad shot. I'd be like, good shot. If I tell them it's a bad shot, I'd be like, a bad shot, but you'll get it back. Like passing up one look, you're always gonna get it back. Eventually, you're gonna get it back.
Yeah. And being on JV for the first two years in high school, how do you feel like the varsity players before you helped to push you forward?
I feel like it was more just watching them more than it was physical and like them talking to me, just because I seen what it took to play at that. Because even JV and varsity, that's still different levels. To me, being a JV player, varsity is the highest level I can compete at right now. So competing at that high of a level, just watching them play every game, watching them practice, and like the reps they get, how serious they take the reps at practice, that's what I would say helped me.
So walk me through your training regime. Like, how many days a week do you normally train basketball outside of practice? Let's just say in the off season. So walk me through that.
I don't really have an inside gym to go to, but I do have an outside rim. So like anytime the weather's not terrible, I go outside to shoot if I can. Even if it's not for crazy long, like I said, I can't go too many days without having a basketball in my hand without it feeling like odd.
What do you feel like the longest amount of time you've ever spent without touching basketball? Can't be long.
To be honest, like I would say 5 days max, to be honest.
At the most.
Yeah, but last time I think it was that long was when I went to States for track last year. And we went to States for track last year. We left Thursday. I didn't get back till Sunday.
The very next day.
4 days. Yeah,
the very next day you picked up a basketball.
Yeah.
That's dedication, man. That's cool. And speaking of track, so we were talking about how you have the school high jump record, because you can jump out the gym. Walk me through that What kind of made you choose to try out track?
I've done track since I was little too, but
Okay.
I always used to just be quicker when I was little, so I always ran, and I really didn't know like high jumping, long jumping, all that like, extra stuff for track. I really just knew it was running until I got to 8th grade. When I got cut from the basketball team, I was like, at least there's track. I can do freshman track.
Yeah.
So I went to track, had a little bit of height to me, and he was like, "You're pretty tall. Maybe you could do some high jump." And I was like, "Okay, I'll try high jump." And then it slowly just became fun. And it's like when you're good and it's fun, it just makes it so much better, and you enjoy doing it more.
That's true. And so where'd you get your bounce from?
Most of it is like it's genetically.
Yeah.
It's really like genetics, but if you work, like it really helps too. My dad began on me to do like calves and like thighs and stuff.
Okay.
So if you definitely work to it, it's definitely going to increase. But like I said in the interview after the game that one time, it's like the more you jump, the more your bounce is going to increase. Because you jumping, even without weights, but your own body weight, that's a workout in itself. I think all my 4 years of doing track so far helped me increase my bounce for basketball. Just because
that's true.
I'm jumping into the long jump pit, I'm jumping into the mat for high jump. It's like just repetitive jumps, and your body just gets used to that jump motion, and then it's so used to like jumping.
And do you know what your vertical is?
No, I haven't got tested.
You haven't?
Don't know.
Okay. Are you going to keep it that way, or are you going to eventually just go get tested?
I want to get it tested, but I like to not know.
Okay. I got you. Because it's probably...
Because then I feel like if I get told what it is, I feel like there's a ceiling.
There's never a ceiling.
I agree. I like that. There's never a ceiling.
Never a ceiling. The goal is to break through the ceiling.
Yeah.
People say the sky's the limit. No, break through the sky.
Yeah.
Break through the sky.
But it's also I don't want to know too, because what if it's higher now and then I go get tested somewhere else and then it drops? Then it's what's going on.
I got you. Like you said, it's all about mental talk.
Of course, yeah.
All about mental talk. So, how do you feel? How can an athlete manage the highs and lows of competition without losing their focus?
Meaning the winning and losing? Is that what you?
Yeah, there's throughout sports. You have wins and losses. Sometimes maybe you got benched. Maybe you were told. Maybe you got less minutes in a game. How do you feel like athletes navigate those highs and lows?
I feel like we keep bringing it up, but I feel like it's really important, like self-talk.
Yeah.
I got benched for a little bit last year, and it was partially my fault because I was in my head, but I would go home and talk to my dad, and it's the only thing you could do is go back, work harder. Go back, work harder. And it's not like I'm sitting at practice too, so every rep you get in practice, you got to take it seriously. That's how you get your reps. That's how you show out.
Yeah. But... no, we do keep mentioning self-talk because that's one of the biggest things that I'm about and I preach, and that's what got you to where you are, is the things you tell yourself.
Yeah.
Really, like, I've never seen anybody continue going with their life by telling themselves that they suck, that they're terrible. Like, it's you'll make the next one. It's I can make the next shot. Exactly. I can't. I am that good. That's what drives you. That's what fuels you to keep going. Another thing is whys. So what are your whys as far as like why you get on the court? Why do you keep going? Why do you want? I'm assuming you want to play college basketball. Why do you want to play further?
My why is just why not? Why not try to reach my highest ceiling? But like you said, there is no ceiling. So I'm gonna try to break through the cap that people think there is for me. Even that's being JUCO D2, but I think I'm D1, and I think I can make it to the pro levels. And some people might look at this and be like, he's crazy, but that's what they're going to think. And I just think my ceiling is so high. And I just have a good support system around me that helps me believe in that. And like we said with self-talk, like that helps with everything. Like not just sports, like in life in general as an aspect. It's like self-talk can get you so far in life.
Is there anything personally that's a why for you?
Not really personally, but like I say my most personal thing is just like to make my parents proud.
Yeah.
I really do a lot for them. Like I look up to them in like in so many ways.
For sure. I get you. It's like you're talking about wanting to go pro. What can I do for my family?
Exactly.
For these last 17, 18 years, these guys have showed up to all my games.
Pay so much money for so many things.
Yeah.
Like,
what can I do to repay?
I just want to, just work hard and pay them back somehow, some way.
And one thing that I've realized just from doing stuff like this is the only limitations that there ever are on you are those that you set upon yourself. And the Caleb in the first episode was talking about pressures of privilege. These people, they come on to you like, oh, you're not good. You can't play in the pros because it has nothing to do with you. It has their own insecurities because it's beyond them. They can't see it possible.
Exactly. But they also aren't in your shoes. They can't.
Yeah.
Them telling you suck, you're not going to make it. That doesn't affect how much work you put in.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect how college coaches and NBA scouts or G League scouts or pro scouts in general look at you. They don't care that, okay, you think he sucks. I think he's the piece to our team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think that you just really have to, like, just cancel everybody out and just think about you and just know, like, they're not you and you control your life.
This episode of Royal Vision Podcast is sponsored by Trophies Plus here in Martinsburg. You can get embroidered hats, trophies, service awards, or even sublimated mugs. So go check them out. They've been a part of my family for almost 30 years, and we love the support. Locally sourced in Martinsburg, West Virginia, for sure. And then you mentioned being the piece of the team. I think about Spring Mills basketball. Everybody's an integral part of the team, but one thing that gets the game going is always you. It's always you. I feel like you're the spark of the offense. Like, the game doesn't start off without Loakkhae hitting that three, or Loakkhae getting a chase, getting a fast or a steal, Loakkhae getting a fast break dunk. So kind of walk me through that.
I think Zay's definitely our energy guy.
Yeah.
But I like to have energy. Like you said, off those threes, once I feel that three go in, it's all the noise out the window. Any minor thought in my head is out the window. So I'm here now, and I'm going to show everybody what I'm made of. So let's go.
I noticed that your best games, and I think you're averaging about 18, 19 points a game this season, is within the first 30 seconds. When you hit that first three, it can be right up on the line, 21 feet, or it can be 25 feet.
Yes, sir.
As soon as you hit that, it's like I can just see, I don't want to say aura, but it's just game time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to explain that, but you can feel like, you can feel it on switch in your body. Like, people talking basketball, like, momentum changes and, like, going on runs. But I feel what you mean. Like, even if the team don't feel it, I feel like I hit that shot, bro, let me get it back. Let's lock them up on defense so I can get back, get another three. And that's what happened in the Jefferson game. Like, I hit that three. I think that was a great game for the whole team. But
sure.
All my energy, like, just maxed out. And then, like, we played good defense, got a steal. Chase got a good steal. I'm running with Chase, and just Chase threw the lob, and I dunked it. And it's like all the energy rose even more. The more plays you can connect, the more energy it feeds the team. But especially when you're home, it feeds the crowd. And some kids that can't feed off their own self-talk and own energy, feed off of a crowd. So that definitely helps when you have a crowd, like, going crazy.
For sure. Because you guys, if you could sell out a high school, you guys definitely would sell out a high school.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel like fuels you more, self-talk or the crowd?
Definitely in the beginning of the game, self-talk, like, because if I think we're going to go in here and lose, I'm not going to have a good game because I just feel like my energy is going to be down and whatnot. But throughout the game, when I'm just like, I feel like I'm slowing down or I'm getting exhausted, but then I hear the crowd go crazy. It's like, right now, do it for them. Like, they're excited to watch, so do it for them. Pick up their pace, keep your composure right now, keep the energy up for them right now.
What do you feel like, what's been your favorite game to play in as far as, let's say, atmosphere?
John Hanley. A
couple weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay, kind of walk me through that.
We were walking out of our locker room, and it's like, we have to say, excuse me, to get to the court. It was crazy. We got there was a line. JV hadn't started. JV didn't start for another 40 minutes. That was crazy. And we're thinking it's going to be, we knew it was going to be sold out. Like, to have tickets online, that must mean it's going to be a big game. But JV halftime filled. We had kids from EPAC. We had kids from Winchester there. And the way their student section is, it's like right behind the basket. So in overtime, I'm shooting free throws, and I try not to let, like, the outside noise get to you, but it's like when you hear stomping and oh, it's just crazy. But that's a good feeling. Like you said, Caleb said, pressure's a privilege.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. Like, I love to feel like people are, like, doubting me. Even though they weren't really doubting me, they were just trying to get me to miss. It's just, like, that means something. Like,
and how do you stay focused during moments like that where you're talking about it's overtime and you've got to knock down free throws? How do you stay focused? How do you...
Because Coach Samples, during the state championship game, we missed some free throws and layups. And that's every little, especially free throws and layups, they're crucial. Like, you can lose a game by 1 point once you missed a free throw in the third quarter.
Yeah.
If you would have made that one free throw, we're tied up. It's overtime. So it's like, in that moment, it's not about how many points you have or anything else. It's like, the team needs me, like...
Yeah.
And especially in that game, it was more like, I'm putting on for the state right now. It was number one in Virginia and number one in VA. So it's like, I'm putting on for the state. So hit this for the state was what I was thinking.
And did you... I wasn't at that game. Did you end up knocking out both those free throws?
On 1 for 2.
1 for 2?
It killed me a little bit, but it's...
Yeah.
Got back on defense, just had to do what I do.
I got you. What are some common mental challenges you feel like athletes face throughout their career?
I would just say a lot of mental blocks. I feel like that's the biggest thing, like mental blocks or droughts, like shooting droughts, or maybe if you're in football and you're wide receiver not getting the ball that much, why is my quarterback not throwing me the ball? Or in any other sport that applies to, like just thinking that you're not good enough for the team or you're not good enough, like, in your own head.
So have you ever gone through personally any droughts? And if you did, how did you overcome those?
Last year was definitely my biggest drought, but it definitely was a lot harder because my first year playing varsity, so it's like I didn't know how to take the little things. So, but like I said earlier, like, you just had to show up. You got to show up and still put in the work. Like, you just got to show up. And even though I was, like, in game I wasn't hitting or I felt like I wasn't good enough, it was like, that's what you think. But it was like you think right now I'm not good, but deep down, you know the level you can compete at. You're on varsity for a reason. Show everybody why you're on varsity. And
you obviously ended up having a successful season, making second team all EPAC.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the most threes you've ever made in a game?
I'm going to say 7. 7 against Morgantown at home.
Yeah, so it was seven 3-pointers against Morgantown at home. So that's 20. You think you finished the game with 25 points?
Yes,
I think 5 rebounds, 4 assists, something around there. Walk me through that game.
That was another game with a lot of energy. Like, Morgantown side wasn't packed because it was a Tuesday game. They had to come down, so it wasn't too much going on. But it was like knowing the stakes of that, and like I said, like earlier in the episode, like underdogs.
Yeah,
we were number 2. Rightfully so. We hadn't proved yet that we should be number 1, even though we knew our hearts we were number 1. So it's like we knew we had to go out there and play to the best of our ability. So I knew the team needed me offensively and defensively. And even if I was on the bench, they needed me to be vocal and just be a vocal leader. So when I went out there, I just do what I do best. Shot that first 3, and like I said, like when that 1-3 goes in, everything else goes out your mind. Like all the distractions and nerves go out your mind. It's go time.
So you started on the bench?
No, not that game. No, I started that game.
Okay.
And it's just, I hit that 1-3, and it was like, I just felt everything go away, and I was like, it's go time, we're here. Let's show them what we're made of. So that game was good, and it was like, every time I shot the ball that game, it just felt good.
Yeah. Because you guys ended up winning 53-49.
Yes, sir.
And then you ended up meeting them again in the state championship game. So with basketball and obviously shooting, jumping, you dunk like crazy
Yes,
too.
sir.
And what do you feel like the best dunk that you've had in a game was?
Ooh, I want to say that windmill against Huntington, but I feel like I feel like it was a Saturday game. Like the energy was low just because it was like
Yeah.
nobody was there. Huntington's so far away anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But I want to say go back to the Hanley game. I had a baseline dunk. That baseline dunk at Hanley or my baseline rip against Martinsburg at Martinsburg.
Yeah,
That one was like I felt the energy, and I feel like I felt everybody on the Berg side just like in awe.
yeah, I remember seeing that clip. I think you practically floated. I'll be honest. There's like you rip baseline and you go and you dunk, but like when the ball's going through the rim, you're still going up.
Yeah,
And-
I think what the funniest thing is when I dunk is people will be like, "Bro, I didn't think you were gonna make that. You jumped from so far out." And it's, in my mind, I was like, "You told me I jumped from far out." Like, I felt like I was a little close.
That's funny. But and then with dunking comes the chance of missing a dunk. So how do you you probably missed a dunk before. How can you come back from missing a dunk? Because that's a moment where it can be embarrassing sometimes.
You get, especially when you dunk so much, you get used to that. And I miss dunks in practice too. So it's like you can't just mope around because you miss a dunk.
Yeah.
So you just really just gotta get back. And even in a big game, if you miss a dunk, it's like, oh, the crowd was expecting to make that. Or if you're away, they might laugh at you. But it's like they're not in a game. Like you gotta get your head in the game and stop thinking about the outside noise.
That's true. And I don't know if you're ever able to hear some of the outside noise. What do you feel like the craziest thing you've ever heard while playing a game?
I would just say you suck with a lot of cuss words behind it. You're not good, et cetera, just with a lot of cuss words behind it.
Or I know down in Parkersburg South.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know that because I got to experience it, the student section's kind of crazy.
They got some. They definitely say a lot I couldn't say.
Yeah.
It's a little beyond cuss words, but
Yeah, for sure.
it's definitely because you have breaks like when the ball goes out of bounds, you have time just like catch your breath, cool down for a second. If you're like too much energy or too hard, you're like underwhelmed, overwhelmed, just cool down for a second, just like breathe. And it's like in that split second, you can hear a lot. You hear noise or you hear the silence, but like in that moment in Parkersburg South, them taking the ball out, the student section's right behind me, so. Of course, as any student section gonna do, they're gonna start chirping at you and just like what they were saying. It's funny though, how you come up with this on the spot like that, like
or sometimes you see the signs like they'll spend money on. That's the most beautiful part. They'll talk all the trash in the world, but then they're gonna go spend money on a big old sign with your face on it.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
So like, that's support at its finest.
It's definitely crazy. Like when they try to dig into your personal life.
Yeah,
and it's like. Y'all got a little too much time on your hands. But
but
I feel like it's a good thing because you too worried about me, but I'm not. I'm over here trying to hoop.
Yeah, the craziest signs are like when they're like you're talking about digging into personal life and you show up to the game and here's a sign talking about some girl that you talk to. It's nuts.
Or it's something old and it's like, how you even know that?
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that in years, and you pulling this back up is crazy.
Or like digging off like a picture from your mom's Facebook. Like,
right.
It's crazy. But so moving on to like mindset, how do you feel like athletes recognize and reframe thoughts to create a more beneficial mindset?
What do you mean recognize?
So I feel like one of those things, in order to become greater, to move towards greatness, it's all about being aware of what it is you're thinking, what it is you're doing.
Yeah. I just feel like to be aware, like I feel like I think more than like the average person thinks, to be honest. Like I think about everything deeply, if it's a bad thought or it's a good thought.
Okay.
Even if somebody says something like I can't tell they're being sarcastic, I feel like I try to think about it in both ways to feel like they were being negative or they were being positive.
Oh, to empathize with them almost.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying. And what do you feel like some of the biggest mindset shifts have been in sports that led to success?
Mindset shifts meaning as?
So like moments where let's just take you in middle school, for instance.
Yes, sir.
What's your mind? So that first time you get cut, 6th grade, what's that mindset shift that led to your success?
Or just knowing that I had higher beliefs in myself than he did, and it was just like I got cut. But my mindset shift was, I'm better than he thinks I am. He thinks I am, so I'm gonna prove to him that I'm better than he thinks I am. My mind's really shifting. Like, I just like to try to keep the negative out of my life. Like, I try to keep the negative and think of positive, even in negative situations.
So you almost kind of like prime your brain.
Yeah.
You have that optimistic mindset.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much. One thing I learned about priming, and that's because oftentimes what we do is we think about all the negative things, and then we walk around wondering why our life sucks, or we think our life sucks. But then when we start focusing on the positives,
yes, sir,
that's when things really get better. How do you feel like, talking about you, so how do you feel like you prime your brain?
I feel like I just I have more support around me than some people, most people do. Down to the teachers, I feel like I have a good relationship with most of my teachers.
Yeah.
And down to deep family, as in cousins, even cousins younger than me or my age or older than me. I feel like they know where I want to get to in life too. So they help me bring in positive mindsets. And it's when you have so much positive in your mind, it's it brings joy to you. So it's really hard. I feel like it's real hard to break the positivity in my mind and whatnot.
So do you ever really feel any external pressure from family, coaches, fans, anything like that?
You definitely feel external pressure because that's part of the sport. You're gonna feel I feel like there's pressure in the beginning of every game because every game starts 0-0. Every game is a new game. Anything can happen. Even though you're favored to win by 40, or you could be favored to lose by 40, it's there's pressure no matter what. So,
because I just think about your positive mindset, because I feel like you're the first person I've talked to that, obviously, I feel like all of them believe in themselves, but just having that overall positive mindset, that positive outlook, I wondered how any negativity, it just seems like you're just it's almost like you have a bubble, you just deflect it out, get rid of it. So what are some key habits or strategies you feel like you use or athletes would use to build that confidence, to build that resilience?
Ask it one more time so I can just process again, please.
You're fine. So what are key habits or strategies that athletes use to build confidence, build resilience?
I feel like key habits, I feel like you just become repetitive. And once you become repetitive, it's just practice. When the more you practice, the better you're going to get, the more results you're going to see come in. So when you see the results start to kick in, your mindset will start to kick in. And it's crazy because I just finished the essay on success today. And it's what it takes to be successful. And it's having a good mindset and making sure you're not trying to overachieve goals at an early stage. Obviously right now, the end goal is the NBA, but that's overachieving right now because what I'm going to do, skip college and go to the NBA. So the goal right now is to get into a good college and then improve there and play good at a college level. And then that's when I'll try to achieve the next level of making it pro or higher.
I never considered that. That's good. Think about not trying to overachieve, knowing what your end goal is, but in a way not forgetting the steps before and the process that gets you to that point. I guess almost being great, practicing gratitude, being grateful.
Yes, sir.
I like that. That's good. I'm glad you wrote that essay.
Yes,
I'm glad you had to write that essay. That's awesome. So how do you feel like an athlete's belief system affects and shapes their ability to perform?
Once again, going back to mindset, it's just gotta believe in yourself. And it definitely helps when people believe in you, but like I said way earlier, nobody believes in you more than you believe in yourself because you know what you're capable of.
True. I remember that was one thing about me, though. I used to never believe in myself. So you see me now, this is not who I used to be. I was in my head a lot. Sometimes still am, but I think that's why you guys, even though I'm 4 or 5 years older than you, I think that's why you guys inspire me the most, because I see where you guys are sitting and where you are, and it's wow, to be that young and believe in yourself like that. That's what all these kids out there, they look up to that. So
yes,
you should be proud of yourself just for that, because I feel like you're a light to so many people out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And so, how do you feel you want to inspire kids through your story, through your game?
I think I feel like when I talk about it, people are like, "Oh, he's like really trying to copy like Michael Jordan or something." But it's really not. This is my story. Like I really did get cut, and like really had to improve myself to become to where I am today. And it's like anything is possible. Like I told you, my dad says hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So if you work hard and just gain a positive mindset, I feel like anything is possible.
That's true. That's true. So then, with playing sports, you played basketball, you played football this year, you run track. How do you balance that identity between the athlete but also just Loakkhae?
I feel like sports is just a part of Loakkhae. Like I feel like I don't go a single day. If I don't pick up basketball, I definitely talked about basketball. Like if I didn't pick up anything doing with football, track, I definitely talked about sports in some sort of way. But I feel like I balance it because I feel like people know me too. So like people know that like how dedicated I am and how much like sports mean to me. So it's not like people think of me as some different person when I'm not as like athlete. Like I think people think of me as Loakkhae as an athlete and like he's an outstanding kid who's always trying to do the right thing.
And so walk me through a little bit of your personal life. Like what do you do when you're not playing sports?
I sleep. I play the game a lot. But I like to spend time with my family. I like to go out to eat with my family as much as I can. Because I know not every day is for sure.
Yeah.
Show them as much love as I can.
So what's probably like your favorite place to eat? Like what's your favorite cuisine?
I like crab, seafood.
Seafood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now your dad's from Jamaica, so you got some Jamaican in you.
Yeah.
Does your dad like bring any like Caribbean cuisine?
Of course, all the time. Yeah.
So like rice and peas, you ever had rice and peas, cabbage?
Yeah. All that, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever
curry,
been?
Yeah, curry goat.
Okay.
All that jerk chicken, yeah.
That's good stuff. Have you ever been to Jamaica? Have you been to Jamaica
a few
yet?
times, yeah. I plan on going this year too for my graduation. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. It's fun. So like my uncle, his wife's from Jamaica.
Yeah.
They've been married a couple years. That's awesome. It's nice to talk to somebody who has the kind of same heritage as me. I don't meet a lot of people. Never talk to a lot of people other than like my family that's from the Caribbean. So that's cool to have somebody close to home.
Yeah.
So what impact do athletes have beyond your sport? So like for you, what impact do you feel like you have outside of basketball, football, outside of track?
Impact I have on people?
On people, on kids, on
just
anybody.
I feel like to try to like just be there so other people, family members, even friends, or even like younger ones can be like, I can look up to him and go to him if I need him, and not be like arrogant, cocky like we talked about earlier. Just like kids know that I'm confident and like humble.
And what do you feel is like the biggest impact you've made on a kid, on maybe somebody older than you? Is there like a moment that stands out to you the most?
Outside of sports?
It could be inside of sports, could be outside of sports.
I would say definitely inside of sports, like after the games when little kids are like, can you sign this? Can you sign this?
Okay.
And it's, of course I'm going to sign it. Like, even in the NBA, I see a lot of NBA players not signing it. And, like, sometimes I think it's, like, egotistic, but it's also, I know they have a bigger bargain to deal with because they're in NBA. Yeah. But it's, I'm not going to not sign something because I've been the little kid who's wanted a signature. And I've been the kid who's gotten a signature and seen other kids not get a signature. And I know, oh, man, why did he sign my thing? So, I'll just try to, like, sign as many things as I can. And I would sit there for hours signing things for little kids if they ask me.
If you're new to the kingdom or you just joined the kingdom, be a king, be a queen, and go grab yourself some kingdom merch. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, gym tank tops, both for men and for women. All of these materials, all of these clothes are made here in Hedgesville, West Virginia. Locally sourced, locally made. So go cop your kingdom merch. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all. And that's something that happens after the games often.
Often.
What's the coolest or like craziest thing you feel like you've signed? Because I know sometimes kids are like, can you sign my back? Can you sign my forehead?
I think it was a phone case. I signed a phone case.
For real?
Yeah.
That's cool. One day you could have your own phone case.
Yeah.
Which I hope you do. I have faith in you. That's my biggest thing is I'm one of those people where if you have a dream, let's go do it. Yeah. Let's go do it. I will never tell somebody not that they can or cannot do something because there's a reason you have that dream.
Of course.
The most successful people in the world talk about when you have a vision, when you have a dream, like it's there for a reason
Yes,
because
sir.
it's something that you can do.
Yeah.
It's just you don't know when it's going to happen. You
Right.
don't know how it's going to happen. You just know you can do it. And belief system's the biggest thing,
And
part
it's
of
like, I
that.
feel like you're not gonna have that dream if it's not important to you. I wouldn't dream of playing at a high level if it wasn't important to me.
People talk about like God putting that in you. God, that's God's plan for you.
Yeah.
Something greater, something bigger. And then I don't think you have any chance of being done with sports anytime soon. But like, what's your plan for after sports? Let's just say plan after high school.
Like where to go or
Just how do you feel like? What do you see yourself doing in your life?
I really just want to be a role model for anybody. I can be wherever I go, off the court, on the court. God forbid I stop playing basketball, injuries, or just I go play track or something. Just to do what I can at the highest level and be humble and grateful.
Okay. And then, is there like a job specifically that you would want if after basketball, or let's say you didn't end up playing?
I definitely haven't thought too much into it, but I would definitely want to start some kind of business.
Okay. I could see you honestly doing media. I know you do TikTok a little bit,
yeah.
so I could see you doing sports media, sports broadcasting,
Yes, yeah.
somewhere where there's a camera, because I think you have that personality for
Yes,
the
sir.
camera.
Thank you.
And talking about injuries, I don't think obviously you have aches and pains from here and there, but one thing I really admire is your recovery routine, your preparation routine for your body. Because I see you've got like these knee compression things.
Yes, sir.
I think you even have leg sleeves too.
I do, yes, sir.
So kind of walk me through recovery for you, or just
Recovery is definitely like one of the most important parts of having longevity in your sports. It's like maintaining good, like just good athleticism in general. Like Travis Hunter, I've seen Travis Hunter. Like they say, his recovery process is crazy. Like he has arm things in, he has leg things, knee things, and he's in hot tub, cold tub, like for an hour and whatnot. And I may not have all of that, but what I do have, I'm grateful to have. And it's like like you said, my knee compressions.
Yeah.
Like I have my leg massages, and then I don't stretch too often, but it's like stretching really dead. Like I know when I stretch, it helps a lot. I have a massage gun, I have the roller just to roll myself out, just so I can feel better.
yeah. And so walk me through your pre-game routine to get your body prepped, especially your legs for basketball.
I feel like I've always been an active kid, so I'm always more like on game days. I feel like a lot more energy, obviously, like most people would. So I feel like I'm up more, just like walking more. Some people say don't kill your legs, but I feel like me walking is not gonna kill my legs.
Yeah.
Even after some basketball games, my legs aren't dead tired. I feel like I still go like a whole nother quarter or two. So I'd be active early in the day, just stand up, walk around, just to get my legs prepped. But before the game, I drink some energy, just not like monsters or anything, like healthy energy stuff to get my like body in the mood and flowing.
Yeah.
And then we do team stretches, and that'll do it. Like the team stretches definitely just get me started.
Do you do anything else like on your own before?
I do some hip targeting things. 'Cause
Okay.
like, hips are important too.
And then one thing I noticed when you play, you wear these wraps around your knee. What are those for exactly? Because I've seen a lot of players
They
do.
call those patella bands on TikTok or wherever you find them at. But
Okay.
I think it's more with knee pains, and I feel, to be honest, it helps me like feel bouncier. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know if
Okay.
that's like scientifically proven or whatever, but I feel bouncier when I put those on.
Almost like a compression thing.
Yeah.
Like more blood circulation.
But I don't know how to say it. I don't want nobody to make funny, but it's Osgood sliders or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
In your knee. So that's definitely what that, like they said, it compresses that.
Okay, so it compresses that patellar tendon.
Yeah.
I got you. I see what you're saying. And then another thing I noticed is on your shooting hand, the tape
My right hand.
on your right hand. So it's your guide hand or your balance hand. It says, I'll let you say it. What does it say?
It says, if not, win now, and God got me.
And so what inspires you to do that? What drives you to write that on your hand?
If not, win now, cause if you're not going to try hard now, when are you going to try hard?
Okay.
Like, if you're not going to care now, when are you going to care? And then God got me, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Like I said earlier, like God is like the centerpiece of all things to me, and that's really important in my life.
And because I remember the first time I ever saw it on your hand, we're playing at Parkersburg. It's a vivid moment. Playing at Parkersburg South, sitting in the locker room, and I look down at your hand, and it says, if not now, when?
Yes, sir.
And that inspired me a lot. And I think I think about, honestly, every time I do something like this, every time I post a video, I think about that. Just like, because, look, you've inspired me a lot. Just your routine, just the hand thing.
Yes, sir.
But where did it come from? Did something you created on your own or something?
It didn't really start till kind of last year.
Okay.
Summer of going into junior year. But I've always had wrist tape.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point to where I was writing, like, God got me. It was always God got me because God's always going to have your back no matter what. God does everything for a reason. And then until one practice, my thumb got jammed. And I was like, ooh, we had a game. So I had our trainer wrap me. I just looked at it and it's like, it's not bulky, but it's whole hand to like around here.
Yeah.
So it's like I had all this empty space and I'm like, what can I write? What can I do? So I wrote God got me, but I'm looking at the front of my hand, the back of my hand. I got all this space. What am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
And I just thought, and I was like, if not, when now? Like, and it just stuck with me. That's one I'll always write.
And it's a good one. I think his name's Brian Tracy. He's a motivational speaker. He talks about the phrase, do it now. Do it now. Don't do it later. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't do.
Nike, like, just do it.
Just, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're not going to do it now, like, realistically, when are you going to do it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like an excuse. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Do it now.
What's
do it
stop
now.
you from doing it now? Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And long-term success. What do you feel like long-term success looks like for you beyond winning championships?
Just being productive at the highest level and just being the athlete I know I can be for whoever may need me. And just basically performing at the level that I know I can perform at, even though it might not be winning championships. It could be on a team on a bad record. Just like, as long as I know that I'm doing the best I can, I think that's what my long-term success is. Do the best that I can be in anything I do.
And so what kind of impact do you want to make off the court?
Just to impact people's, I wouldn't say I would want to be a motivational speaker, but just impact people's mindsets. I don't like when people doubt themselves because I think, why do you doubt yourself? Even if people would be like, oh, we might lose this game, like, why do you think that? And I think me and my family have a big thing. It's like, don't talk things into existence.
Yeah.
So it's don't think bad thoughts or you'll make it happen. So I don't want people to think bad thoughts because, like, it's kind of like when it comes to shooting.
Yeah.
If you shoot, I'm going to miss, you're going to miss.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that people don't realize, people think, one, that every thought they have is theirs. Two, that thoughts are just thoughts. No, like, thoughts will make you or break you. Thoughts will push you forward or pull you down. And you seem to be pretty aware of your thoughts. Plus, you've got like that outside noise or positive outside noise for you too. But when you're aware of your thoughts, and you control what thoughts you have, it changes your life.
Yeah, of course.
Drastically.
Of course.
And so what do you feel like, what kind of walk me through what are your thoughts on a daily basis? What are the thoughts that kind of push you to keep going on a daily basis?
I feel like this, what I would hope most people think about, just making a name for themselves, like making their family proud for doing things for God and God's name. And just everybody else that looks up to you and just trying to make everybody that you can proud.
And honestly, you should have plenty of reasons to be proud of yourself. I would be proud of you just because being able to get cut not only once, not twice, 3 times, and then still come out there and then show up as you're in probably the front running for EPAC, all EPAC first team, probably all state first team.
Yes, sir.
And so, like I said, sky's not the limit. You break through the sky.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And how do you feel like an athlete defines their legacy? And what do you personally want to be remembered for?
Definitely just like how athletic I was. Just like, I wouldn't say like bounce wise or like shooting wise. Just like that kid he could do it all. Like I just like, even though I might not be the best out there, some people might not think I'm the best out there, but he could do it all. He would give it his all, and just like to do it to the level I do it at, and still be humble and respectful. I feel that's kind of what I'm going to be remembered for. For sure, because like I feel like there's a lot of things you are the best at. I feel like you're one of the best at jumping, best at dunking, and then also the best with your style. Yes, sir.
That's one thing. So that's one thing that I've noticed is you have really good style. So walk me through the inspiration for like your style, your on-court swagger, your off-court swagger.
Like my style of play, is that you asking?
Stylist play, style of just like clothing wear. Because like right now, I mean, you got the chain, you
Yes,
got
sir.
here, you got the earrings. I know
Yes,
you got
sir.
the nose piercings from
Yeah.
time to time. So kind
Yes,
of walk
sir.
me through that.
I just think that comes from. I feel like I used to have a little bit of lower self-esteem when I was younger, like especially in self-appearance wise. But it's like to put clothes on, and I'll just look at myself in the mirror and just be like, I feel good in these clothes.
Yeah.
It's like this outfit is me. But I also feel like I'm very aware of like clothes I couldn't wear. Like some people wear jorts, and I'm not knocking jorts, but I don't think I could ever rock a pair of jorts. Or some people wear like flannels and
Yeah.
I'm just aware of what things I couldn't wear and like what I can wear. And then like, when it comes to like style on the court, just I'm inspired by like Kyrie and James Harden. They have a lot of I feel like those two people have a lot of flair when it comes to basketball. It's like I know what they can do that I can't do, but it's like I try to incorporate. I wouldn't say their game, but it's like what I know I can do, and I wouldn't say replicate them, but like tendencies of them.
I definitely see. You mentioned James Harden. I can see a bit of James Harden in your game, especially from the 3-point range.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I've ever seen you hit a step back, but I have seen you like just kind of like the leg swing, the leg kick.
Yes, sir.
I see that in James Harden. And so for those like next generation of athletes, what advice would you give to them?
Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. If you have a dream, follow it. And going back to what I was talking about in success, make it relevant to what you want, your dream is, but also increase it in small increments that are achievable.
Okay. That's good. And for you, after high school, so do you have any offers currently, or do you have people, have you talked to anybody?
Yeah, I have a few, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, like, when making a decision for what school you want to play at the next level, what's the thought process for that?
I feel like everybody, no matter who it is and what sport you play, you want to go play, but it's like, it's the next level. You're no longer playing with 18-year-olds, 15-year-olds. Like, these are grown men. Like, it's crazy to think, but some of those men might have kids. Like, and you're fresh out of high school, so you can't think you're gonna go play. Like, yeah, of course you want to go play. You have that mindset. I'm better than everybody. I want to go play, but you have to be realistic with yourself and also be like, I'm new. These people have been here for 2-3 years, or maybe even 4 years, because with everything, how college works, and I just really want to go to a program that can develop me, like to reach the ceiling or break through my ceiling.
Yeah, because when you show up to college, you're just one of the other guys.
Yeah.
You know, you're around a bunch of people that were the best guys,
Right.
and I feel like that can only elevate your game from there. So,
course.
what are you looking most forward to playing college basketball?
I feel like the experience. I feel like we get to travel. We get to travel a lot for high school, but I feel like to travel for college and like to see like like I was talking about earlier with the VA and DC, like the athletes that they have. Like half of those teams have those kids were CTs or Xavier Kurtz or Jamari or whoever so in the EPAC on their team, but now there's a team full of me. There's a team full of kids that can dunk like me, shoot like a Quasi, handle the ball like post work like CT, aggressive like Zay. Like it's just like crazy that there's so many of them, and it's like you think it's rare in this one area, but then you just go one state over, and then there's a whole bunch of grown men with the same attributes as you.
But that can only motivate you, though.
Exactly, of course.
I know you don't want to just show up and sit. I mean, it might happen, but like you want to show up, and I know you'll probably do everything you can to get on the court.
Of course.
Whether it's for 5 minutes or if it's for the entire 40-minute game.
Yes, sir.
One thing that I've taken away from this is just don't give up.
Of course.
Do not give up. Loakkhae said it's one of those things where you have got to persevere. You've got to persevere. No matter how many no's, no matter how many times you're told no, no matter how many times you're told not this time, keep going. That's the difference between being successful and not being successful.
Yes, sir.
Loakkhae, is there anything you'd like to tell the kingdom before we go?
I would just say, to add on to what he said, just have that mindset like you know yourself better than anybody else. Like your girlfriend, boyfriend, mom, dad, like you still know yourself better than anybody else. So if anybody discourages you to do anything, like you know yourself. Don't give up on your dreams, because if it's your dream for a reason, and God made it your dream. So follow that dream and achieve that dream to become successful. So,
for sure. Now, guys, you'll have a couple more chances to go see Loakkhae and Spring Mills Cardinals play. They're heading off to the state tournament March to the Tuesday, so that's March 19th. March 19th, March 18th, March 19th. So you'll get a chance to go watch them play in the state tournament, playing for their first state title in school history. Do you guys know who you play first?
Martinsburg.
You play Martinsburg? That's the 8
do.
seed? So you guys the one, they're the 8?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Look at that. So they'll be playing Martinsburg in Charleston, somebody in the EPAC. So that'll be a great game to go watch as they try to bring home a state title and make it back from what happened last year. So this has been Coach Matthew, Loakkhae Uth-Smith. This has been the Royal Vision Podcast. Appreciate you guys being here. Peace out.
Peace out.